Okay, everybody, I'm just going to wait for people to get into the room so we can discuss this election. Hopefully we can get people in here kind of chatting it up. There's been a lot going on that we need to discuss. I see we got some trolls in the room too. Of course, the trolls are going to be on deck. But people, let me just put this out there first. Don't feed the trolls. Do not entertain them. There's going to be trolls. You have a lot of people feeling emboldened because of the fact that Donald Trump is a president. Don't pay any attention to it. Not pay attention. That's just really what it is. Don't pay attention to them. Don't feed the trolls. Those are the rules of today. Okay. You have a lot of them that are feeling real emboldened. They think they've won something because they've been able to elect it because Donald Trump won. So don't even bother around with them. But how's everybody doing? My evening is actually going real good. Good. No, we can't forget the trolls. Just don't pay any attention to them. That's all that I'm saying. I'm saying we really don't need to pay any attention to them. That's the thing. Oh, hi from whoever's in Trinidad, Joel Rodriguez. Hey, what's up to you too? And thanks for everybody for joining. I see we're getting a couple people in here, and then we'll kind of get into it. I know everybody on Facebook is really acting like they're freaking out. It's super dramatic, and people are yeah, it's we really need to stop doing that. We do need unity, but the thing of it is we need a lot of unity, but we also need to look at this election and see what it means, because there's a lot of different things that we can take from this election. There's a lot of things that we need to understand. We need to not be surprised. First of all, we shouldn't even be surprised. That's number one. I really don't know why people are surprised that Donald Trump is the president. I don't understand why we're surprised. If you are surprised, then you still don't know what's going on. That's all that means. That means that you don't know what's going on. You don't know who you're dealing with. You cannot walk around here in fear. That's the reality of it. What you can do is you can do what I do, and I'm utilizing my Second Amendment right to bear arms. That's what you can do. I am gonna do somebody's asking me, will I do a collab with Angel? I am going to. On the next show, I'll be on that show. I'm already setting that up, so yeah, I will be on there. The thing of it is you can, in any type of election is purposeful. People sit here and they throw out all of this. We really need to vote, go out and make your voice heard. Your ancestors died for this. Not understanding politics. And I think this is why, once again, this is why Black people are freaking out, because they don't understand politics. If you understand politics, then you would be able to look at the fact that Hillary got the popular vote, even though she didn't really get it by a high margin. She still won the popular vote. Hillary won the popular vote, but it's the electoral college that matters. That's why I was telling people, you thinking that you have a choice in the matter just really shows that you don't know anything about politics. That's the thing. The electoral college is the thing that determines the president. And then if you look at all the states, because you have to look at I was actually watching the coverage of it. And if you look at all the states that have the highest electoral points, those are all of your southern states. So those are the hub of the evil albinoid devil races. That's where they are. So if you look at that, then you already know why we have you already know why we have the result that we have. Voting is what it is. You guys should vote locally. I did vote locally. How many people voted locally? Hopefully you guys were out there voting locally and trying to get some local laws as that you kind of were in favor with. I didn't vote in the presidential election at all, because I already know how things work. You really only need to take one political science class to understand how voting works. And then once you do that and you have a working knowledge of it, then you don't get caught up in it. But the thing of it is that This election and the results should have taught the Black population a number of different things. It should have taught you a lot of different things. It should have taught you, number one, just like I said, the majority of white people in this country are racist. They are. The majority of them are racist. And if you are surprised by the results of the election, then somehow you seem to have missed that point, although they've already been showing you. The majority of them are racist. We also learned that a high percentage of Black men are racist. Out of the 17% of Black people that did vote for Donald Trump, 13% of those were Black men. So that tells you a lot too. It should tell you something about, well, the thing of it is if you look at the breakdown, which I'm going to try to, when you look at the playback, I'll put the link in the description box. When you look at the demographics of it, all white people did not vote for Donald Trump. Actually, there are protests being held by white people in DC, in LA. There's some going on in Seattle. There's some going on in Portland. So there's protests headed by white people across the country because Donald Trump is the president. This is the first time in my lifetime, in my 32 years, that I've ever seen anyone protest a presidential election. That is the first time I've seen that. So the reality of it is that you don't have, all white people are not in cahoots with Donald Trump. All of them did not want Donald Trump in the office, but the most of them did. The most of them did. So you need to understand that the majority of them, when you look at the breakdown, the country is completely divided. You're already in a race war. Like, I don't know why people keep talking about this impending race war. You're already in a race war. The thing that you need to do is, defend yourself. That's what you need to do. This should show Black people there is no white savior that's coming to save you. There just isn't. There isn't one. Like, why are we still thinking that there's just going to be this white savior that you can vote into office or that you can pray for salvation from? That's not going to happen. That's really, yeah, but those Black males are simps. But the thing of it is, and they are coons, but they show the division in the Black community, because people keep saying, oh, we need to unite. We need to unite. The reality of it is you can't. How are you going to unite where 17% Black people are voting for a man that's openly came out and already expressed that he don't care anything for your group? 13% of those are Black men, 4% of those are Black women. So that already tells you there's a division right in our home. There's a division in our community. Well, racism, the thing of it is, the racism isn't a mental game. It's a mindset that is rooted in a group of people. This is a mindset that is rooted in them. That's what you guys don't understand. You think it's a game. Racism isn't a game for them. Racism is a code that they live by, and they are showing you. Who said electoral votes? Okay, let me just, oh, you said electoral votes have nothing to do with popular votes. Exactly, it doesn't. They're completely different things. The electoral votes is in a certain state. Like certain states, once you get that state to vote, whoever gets the majority votes in that one state, they get the electoral college votes for that state. But again, the popular vote in the presidency, you can get the popular vote like Hillary did, and you still don't get the presidency. Hillary won the popular vote. She did. She won the popular vote. She's only she won it by a few 100,000, but she still won it. She didn't win it by a landslide like in the last one, but she still definitely did it. I'm not doing a video about the Hebrew Israelites. What is that going to do? Okay, so I do the video about the Hebrew Israelites, and then that solves what? Because I feel like there's too many people that still want to cling. Well, what is it going to do for us if we talk about Hebrew Israelites? Let's just say we all say we're Hebrew Israelites, okay? Well, we still have an orange racist for president. We still have that. Black people are still getting slaughtered on the street, but we're Hebrew Israelites. And like, I don't know why we're still talking about religion as if well, why am I doing that? Like, whoever, I didn't catch the name of the person, but please explain to me what good does it, what does it benefit us to do a video about Hebrew Israelites? If you want information on the Hebrew Israelites, you can look that up yourself. But I just don't understand what that would do for Black people at this point. And the thing of it, he is an orange racist. That's what it is. Local voting is very crucial, and I hope everyone went out to do that. My thing of it is again, you need to look at when situations like this happen, because you really do need to pay attention to this. When situations like this happen, you need to not only look at the people you are dealing with, in other communities, but you need to look at it on your own community too. Because we can sit here and preach unity and whatever, but if we don't have a code, we don't all have the same vested interest. You can't unite. You can't unite with a coon that feels like it's beneficial to go against themselves by voting for a man who's blatantly racist to them, okay? Because he hasn't come out and say, neither him or Hillary. This is why I said I don't really care who gets it, because neither one of them, and you know, it's like you see all this outrage and upset by Black people, and it's like you would think one of them promised Black people something, like they act like they actually lost something. You haven't lost anything, because none of them promised you anything. None of them said they were going to do anything for you. Hillary said she wasn't going to do anything. Trump said he wasn't going to do anything. So really, right, regardless of who you pick, you're getting the same thing. Like, I don't understand where the mindset is that we need to be disappointed and live in fear. All you need to do is be prepared to defend yourself, because the reality of it is these evil albinoids can get out of hand as much as they want to. Donald Trump is not going to get stomped out for them, period. They're just not going to. So the thing of it is, if you utilize and let your self-survival kick in, then you'll be fine. It's like, I'm not going to walk around here in fear because we have Trump as the president. It's like, you not understand everything that Black people have already been dealing with. What more are you going to do? What more is going to happen? You have a bunch of them emboldened, but they were going to get emboldened anyway. I told you, people cannot suppress their nature for too long. You need to understand that this is just who they are. This is how they want to be. I think it's a good idea. It's good. We can get some good out of this, because now you will see more Black people, hopefully, coming to the realization what's going on. And the thing of it is, this isn't going to be favorable for these evil albinoid devils as much as they think it is. Understand that it's not going to be favorable for them. They're sitting here riding on their hate ticket. That's what they're riding on, because they're looking at, oh, we have now this leader who's going to let us be as hateful as we want to. Okay, you take that hate to the wrong person and you just go get stomped out. Every Black person isn't a forgive and pray type person. So you can sit there and think that they are if you want to. But the reality of it is, a great portion of Black people really aren't interested in being in subjugation. There are riots going on across the country. That's the thing. There's riots going on across the country. Do not allow them to make you live in fear. Don't allow them to do that, because at the end of the day, you should protect yourself. Utilize your Second Amendment right like I'm doing. I'm utilizing my Second Amendment rights, and I can assure you there's no praying forgiveness over here. There is none. There's none. I don't do the whole turn the other cheek. No. I'm peaceful with those who are peaceful with me, and I'm violent with whoever is violent with me. Don't start none. There will not be none. I don't like confrontation, but I will defend myself. I hate confrontation. Look, I'm a loving person. I think we should make love, not war, ideally. However, if someone's raging a war against me, then, what are you going to do? And the interesting thing is, the minute that I see a troll in here, and I do see one, because you know what? There's trolls that think that they're just going to come in here and run amok. And they may run amok for a little while, but the minute that I get a wind of you trolls, because you can sit here and act like you want something, but all of those government programs that you utilize the most, when those get cut, what are you going to do? Okay? How are you going to get those 2 teeth fixed in your mouth if there's no Obamacare? That's what they're not listening, and that's what they're not realizing. They're sitting here thinking that this is a big win for them. You've won nothing. You've won nothing. What, you won the right to express your hate? Okay, and? Okay, so you can express your hate. You express it to the wrong person, you'll probably get stomped out. That's the reality of it. And that's really the reality of it. They think that they've won something. Donald Trump said he doesn't care about the poor, broke white people. He doesn't care about you. There's been memes going around specifically for Donald Trump back in the day saying that if he wanted to run for president, he would run for a Republican seat, because they are some of the most uneducated idiots on the face of this planet, and they've continued to prove him right ever since he started running. For the last year and a half, they've been proving him right. So the reality of it is I'm not going to sit here and live in fear of some evil albinoid devils just doing what evil albinoid devils do. That's just the reality of it is. You guys should not live in fear. Do not let them make you live in fear. Understand that you are a very strong and resilient people. Your ancestors went through worse than this. So yeah, we are dealing with the ancestors of the coons. We have to deal with that too. But you have all that you need within yourself. Like, don't sit here and run around and shake in fear and try to worry about what they're going to do to you. If you're willing to protect yourself, you will be fine. It's going to be a backlash on this entire country. That's the thing. They can look at it as taking a win because when some people are so caught up in their hate, they can't see right now. It's like a drug. When you're sitting here and you're an addict and you really want that high, all you're thinking about is the results of that high. You're thinking about the happy feeling that you're going to get from that high. You're not thinking about everything that's going to come as a result of that high. You're not thinking about all of that until when you hit rock bottom, then you will. So the thing of it is, they're not thinking about the ramifications of him being, an open racist, being the president of this country. Mind you, I'll say once again, they are the global minority, okay? Because white people can convince you that they are the majority, but they are not. They are 8% of the global population, okay? 8% of the global population. Let me say that again. White people are 8% of the global population. So they can sit here and be happy and do a evil albinoid devil parade because they got their symbolic Hitler in office. But at the end of the day, your symbolic person has ostracized every single person that wasn't white, and you're the minority. So all that you're really doing is giving all these countries that are full of non-white, black and brown people a reason to come after you. That's all that you're doing. They are 8%. Do not let them tell you that you are the majority, okay? You are the global majority. I don't care what they say. They still have the lowest birth rate. They're still dying out. The sun is still getting hotter. One of them is still dying every 56 seconds from skin cancer. So those are the facts. You still have a bunch of backwoods hillbillies with 2 teeth, no money, sitting in a trailer park, having sex with dogs and cats and sheep. That's still what's going on. He don't need to. Trump doesn't need to legalize it. It's already legal in certain states. It's already legal in certain states. That's the thing. Don't sit here if y'all let these people make y'all walk around scared. You have a fight or flight instinct that is natural to your body. Utilize that when you're in a situation. You have every right to defend yourself if someone is attacking you. Don't let them sit there and make you feel like they're gonna do something to you. Like, really? You don't have to sit there and live in fear. Whatever is gonna happen is gonna happen. You have to understand the foundation of this country was on hate. That's what people, and there's a lot of white people that are also very surprised that Trump is in office. There's a lot of them that are. Because again, all of them did not vote for Trump. You guys might think they did, but they didn't. All of them did not vote for him. There's a lot of them that did it. That's the reality of it is. There's a lot of them, celebrities and non-celebrities, that are very disappointed and did not want him in office. Okay? I'm going to leave some links in the description box, but I'm going to read a couple of these things if I do. I think I took them off the screen, but yeah. There's a lot of them that are really not appreciative of the fact that he is in office. So the thing of it is, what you can do is you can love your people more. You can start showing unity. You can pool your money. The thing that you can be grateful for is that all these other minority groups that thought they were exempt from racism are going to be able to see how their best interest is to unite for a common goal. So you can look at all the good things that can come out of it, but don't sit there and let anybody make you live in fear. The reality of it is that I'm not doing nothing on radiation. I'm not doing that. See, people want to throw out these topics, but before you ask to make a video, explain to me, what is it going to do? What is it going to do to the betterment of the situation right now? If it's not going to do anything for the betterment of what we're going on right now, then you need to then don't tell me about it. Don't tell me anything about it. There's coons in every racial group. That's the thing. And here's the thing that people don't understand. You're saying that 30% of Mexicans voted from them. Okay, do you think these mainstream evil albinoids are going to care who they voted from? No, they're not going to care. Like these evil albinoids, when they want to express their hate, they don't care who voted for Donald Trump and who didn't. That's the thing. Donald Trump is one person, so he can't go around individually expressing racism towards people, but he can be a symbol for the mainstream ones to run around and express their racial hate, and they're not going to care who did or who did not vote for Donald Trump, because they're not even going to go up to black people that are coons and say, hey, are you one of the coons that voted for Donald Trump? Okay, well, let me exempt you. I won't be racist towards you because you voted for Trump, but I'll go ahead. It's like, no, really, that's the reality. Like, why do you shouldn't even care about what they're doing, though. If they want to vote for them, they want to vote for them. A lot of coons in our community voted for them too. So we can't sit here and act like the Mexicans have a problem because they voted for them. Okay, black men and some black women did too. So that's the reality of it is. Just like we have coons in our group, they obviously have some in theirs. That's just a reality. But the thing of it is yeah, you guys do. If you feel the need and the move calls for you and you feel like you need to get a gun just because you need, in case you need to protect yourself, then by all means, I say utilize your constitutional right. A lot of these Trump supporters are doing it. I don't even care who Lil Wayne voted for. He's on drugs. I don't need to hear about what a drug addict does. They're the reason why they were propping him up on TV. It's a reason why they're doing it. I just don't understand why everybody, you know how dramatic people are being all over Facebook. They're acting like it's the end of the world. And who cares if it is? Who cares? You guys are trying to postpone the inevitable. That's the thing. It's like, again, look at what this country was founded on, okay? Because everyone want to sit here and talk about karma and what goes around comes around, but then when you see potentially the process of karma playing out, then you want to run and shake in fear. The reality of it is this country was founded on great evil and race-based hate. I already told you guys this isn't a progressive group of people. It isn't. If you already knew that this wasn't a progressive group of people, then you wouldn't be surprised. Because of course, a non-progressive group of people are going to take the first opportunity they can to elect their symbol of hate. They're going to move. Where are you going to move to? Christian 253. We'll move to where? Please tell me one area on the face of this earth that you can move to and not have to deal with white supremacy. Please do that. Because the thing of it is that you can't. No. Running away from it is, you can't run away from this problem. You may not have started it, but running away from it how is running away from it going to help? That's running away isn't going to help. You need to deal with the problem. That's what you need to do. Deal with the problem. Be willing to defend yourself. Don't let anyone run you out of a country that your ancestors built. Really, it is everywhere. It's global. And I don't know why people seem to think that they can run somewhere and that they're going to be exempt from it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you go. What other races are getting along? Did you just miss the fact that the majority of the people in this country voted for this man based solely on the fact that he's racist? And people are we can't get along because we have the majority of this country is a non-progressive group of people that like being racist and hateful. And if we could, if we weren't dealing with a group of racist people. It's like, really? Stop trying to run. And the only thing you need to be trying to do is figure out ways that you're going to defend yourself should someone get out of line. Because the thing of it is it wouldn't matter. You would be dealing with the same thing anyway. You would be dealing with angry, evil albinoid devils if Hillary won, and now you're dealing with some happy, evil albinoid devils now that Trump won. You're still dealing with the same thing. So the thing of it is you don't need to sit here and figure out places to run to. You should be figuring out, how am I going to defend myself? What constitutional rights am I going to take part in so that I know should someone try to threaten my life, I can defend my life. That's the only thing that you really need to sit there and deal with. What do you mean? The evil has already been here. They're saying brace yourself for the evil as if we've been living in a calm country void of racism and evil. Are you guys kidding me? Like what do you mean? Like the evil and racism was already in progression. We're just in the middle of it. You're still going through it. It's like this didn't just start. Why are everybody acting all brand new? Like, oh, Donald Trump is in office, so now the country is going to start being racist. Now they're going to start being racist. They've been racist, okay? And then it's nothing new. They've been racist. They've been wanting to express it. The only thing that you have now is that they want to get up and express it. So let them express it, and just know that if somebody attack you, be ready to defend yourself. That's all you need to do. I don't understand why everybody want to run around shaking in fear. It's like some of you, I swear, there's a population of us that so badly want a white savior that most of you are just disappointed and sad that you didn't get a white savior. It's like all most of us wanted is that one white savior. Now I think most of us are like, oh, wait, there isn't a white person that we can elect to save us. Well, we thought Hillary was going to, although she didn't say she was. In fact, she called a super predator and got a lot of our black men caught, put in jail. Oh, but we thought she was going to save us anyway. And now she's not. And so now we're mad because we thought we were going to get a white savior. No. Like, stop it. The minute that you guys decide to get unite and start loving each other and do what you need to do as a community, you'll be fine. But the reality of it is that seeds were already planted. You had no control over what was going to go on. If you think that you could have voted and your popular vote was going to matter, then you just don't understand voting. That's the only thing that we know. We know that you don't understand voting. We know that most of the country is racist. I knew that already. We knew that a high portion of black men were coons. I knew that already. So three things that I already knew were confirmed yesterday through this election. I already knew those. Like, everybody can sit there and speculate and say what they think is going to happen, but you don't know what's going to happen over the next 4 years. You don't. You really don't know what's going to happen. And then the thing of it is there's a great risk now that's posed to this country just from him being in the seat. There's the high risk now. That's the thing that people have to understand too, that being able to freely express your hate comes with a price. And that is a price that they will probably learn. Because if you look at the past, every single time you had someone out here, every single time you had a group of, anytime they wanted to freely express their hate, there was a consequence to that, okay? Let's even go back to the Civil War that ended slavery. Do you know how many white people died in that war? A lot of them died. They didn't just get to sit there and run around happy and say, oh, we want to keep slavery going. No, there was a cost to that. There's a cost to all of this. That's the thing that people don't understand. There's a price tag on it. And they may not see the price tag now, but like I said, a drug addict doesn't see the price of their addiction until the price hits them later. So understand that this is an addiction for them. They are addicted to their hate. But there is a price to it, because again, you have a global population of non-white people that this president now has already ostracized and talked bad about. Okay, you have a global majority of non-white people who see that. So you can just think about the ramifications of that. Think about that. It doesn't matter whether slaves or whoever ended slavery. The bottom line is, in that Civil War, hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of white people died as a result to it. I'm not saying they ended it. I'm saying there is a price to hate. There is a price to having the addiction to hate and subjugating people. There's a price to it. There has always been a price to it. And the thing of it is, you can add that price to the things that the earth is just doing. The globe is heating up. Really, it is heating up. It's heating up. They still have the lowest birth rate. They're still dying out. Nothing is going to change that. That's still going to happen. So they can be happy as much as they want to that Donald Trump isn't going to increase their birth rate. Okay, it's just not going to happen. Donald Trump isn't able to ensure that their population is going to be here 100 years from now. Trump can't do that. That's just the reality of it. Trump isn't going to stop one of them from dying every 56 seconds of skin cancer because of sunburn. Oh, the ozone layer is quickly disappearing. You need to look into it. The ozone layer is quickly disappearing. And if you look up global warming, you will see that. Like today over here, it was nearly, it was like in the high 60s. This is in November. This is very unusual. It is very unusual. So the thing of it is you have to understand and see the bigger picture. Like, don't run around in fear, because all you're going to do is attract to you whatever you're fearing. I'm not going to sit here and be in fear. I already know I'll be okay. I'm going to still do what I'm doing. I'm going to still dedicate myself to empowerment. And then, you know, if somehow I get assassinated because of that, or if I end up doing that till my last breath, then that was my purpose. I'm not going to run around here in fear. I'm not going to. And, you know, the thing of it is, these evil albinoids can say black people get sunburned too. Okay, so prove it. So, but because in the meantime, your record is up there. They so badly want to compare. Listen, they want to compare themselves to black people so badly. You know, when I did that video about the disease, the virus that's in the water that was going around in Philadelphia, you know how many of these evil albinoid trolls came out talking about sickle cell? News flash, evil albinoid troll devils, you aren't immune to sickle cell. Black people do not have epidemic rates of sickle cell anemia. This is how stupid they are. This is why I'm telling you. Look, Donald Trump was right when he said there's some of the most uneducated idiots on the face of the planet. I'm just telling you what they are. The reality of it is, you have this group of people that's always comparing themselves to black people. When you give a fact about their struggle genes, when you sit here and give a fact about their low birth rate, when you sit here and do some facts on a disease that's actually in the water, a lung thing that's actually in the water that is killing them, that black people are immune to, they'll throw out a bunch of false equivalencies. And they'll say, oh, well, explain to me sickle cell. If you weren't extremely stupid and remedial, then I wouldn't have to explain to you that white people get sickle cell too. Name me one disease or illness that white people are immune to meaning cannot get. They are incapable of getting it. They will not get it even if they are exposed to it. Find me one of those that white people are immune to that black people are not, and that they're dropping dead from. Please do tell. Please explain that to me. Because black people are not dropping dead from sickle cell anemia. I don't even know any black people who have sickle cell anemia. They don't even know how many people in the States have it. That's how rare it is. But the reality of it is, you still have these people dying from this in the water. This mysterious virus in the water that black people are immune to. Maybe they just don't know what immunity means, because immunity means that you cannot get it. T-Boz is one person out of millions of black people, okay? Ebola what? Are white people immune to Ebola? Because last I checked, they're not. I'm thinking people just don't understand what immunity means. Immunity means you cannot get it. It is impossible for you to get it. Someone could spray the virus in your face, drop it down your throat, and you still won't get it. That's what immunity means. Name one disease, because I know there's some trolls in here. So this is the time for you troll albinoid devils. This is the time for you to get your spotlight. Name me one disease that white people are immune to that black people are dying from. Please do let me know. I'll wait. And hopefully by the next hour, they can tell me one. It's not Ebola, it's not sickle cell, it's not HIV, it's not high blood pressure, it's not diabetes, because all those things that I just named, white people get them too. Name me one that they are immune to, because you have to understand the mentality of these low self-esteem people that we're dealing with. This is just their mentality. They have to sit here and literally compare themselves to you. And then they'll sit here and not even think about ALS that black people really don't get. ALS, black people, they call that the white man's disease, okay? So there's a ton of them, but you have them, they have such detrimentally low self-esteem that they have to sit here and compare themselves. And they're not going to name one. They're not going to name one because there isn't one. We'll be waiting, we'll be dead waiting on them to get one. I don't know who Lamont Taylor is. Stop looking for attentions and shout outs. Like, I don't get it. Everybody in the chat room is shouted out. Okay, how about that? Get shout out to everyone in the chat room, everybody on my Facebook, everyone who views my channel. Shout out to everyone. Now, the thing of it is they're not going to, they won't be able to think of one. So my thing of it is they can be happy all they want to and celebrate the fact that they have the first orange racist president with the comb over if they want to, that wants to grab vaginas if they want to. They could do that for all they can be as happy as they want to. What I'm suggesting that Black people do is utilize your right to bear arms, defend yourself if needed. People don't get to just threaten your life. They don't get to just try to attack you and then you don't get to defend yourself. You need to defend yourself. Okay? That's what you need to do. And as long as you know you're going to stay true to you, be willing to defend yourself, then don't, why are you worried? Like, I'm not going to live in fear of anybody. I'm really not going to, because why am I doing it? But hopefully we can get segregation back. Now, if Trump would have said he's going to bring back segregation, he would have got my vote, because I'll tell you, just like the Jedi said, I will help them post up the whites only signs if we get segregation back. I will volunteer to take my time to post up some of those signs, period. Because I think that's what we need. We didn't disrespect Obama, and we just really didn't have a reason to, although he wasn't giving us anything. Again, you guys shouldn't compare yourself to them, because you're not the same as them. So just because they exhibit a certain level of behavior, you don't need to sit here and be happy and say, well, we didn't do what they did. Well, you're not going to, because you're not them. You don't think like they do. You don't have the same psychology that they have. So that's the reality of it. Why would, of course you're not. We don't need to just come out and be hateful and embrace someone based solely on hate. See, that's the thing, one of the first things that you guys need to get. Rule number one, stop comparing yourself to them, because you have a complete different psychology. You're not the same, okay? You're barely even the same species, okay? That's questionable. Whether you're even the same species is questionable. So that's rule number one, stop comparing yourself to them. Rule number two, don't argue with them or try to convince them about racism. Rule number three, don't run around in fear. Be willing to defend yourself. Rule number four, utilize your Second Amendment right, arm yourself. Rule number five, utilize your Second Amendment right to arm yourself. Rule number six, utilize your Second Amendment right and arm yourself. Rule number seven, be willing to defend yourself. Rule number eight, arm yourself. If you were seriously. Okay, so I think, again, somebody for the remedial and the cerebrally challenged, okay, this is the last time I'm going to say, I really wish one of them would bring up IQ and then show that they're actually smart. I did not say name something that Black people have a higher chance of getting. I said name something that white people are immune to, that Black people are dying from at a rapid rate, okay? I'll say that again for the mentally retarded trolls that are in the room that just don't understand what immunity means. You see, this is, look, you can look, let the trolls in the room, because I want you to get, I want them to be an example of their psychology. So let the trolls troll. Come on, trolls, I'm welcoming the trolls in the room, because I want to make an example. So I want one of the trolls to type something, because I need somebody to make an example of their disease psychology. I really do. Where are the trolls? Like, I'm trying to get the trolls in here because I really want to show y'all their disease psychology. No, I said it's questionable. Lee Grant, they could be the same species as you, but you don't speak for me. They're not the same species as me. Yeah, that's just really what it is. So they're the same as you and only you. And you're getting blocked because you want to come in here and troll and to talk about hair and makeup. You need to take that to a gay channel or whatever, or a hair channel. This isn't the channel to talk about hair and makeup if you're a man. See, that this is what I'm as mentally challenged, and now he or she is blocked, because I don't deal with that. The bottom line of it is, you're not going to come in here repeating the same stupidity over and over and over. That's just you're not going to do that. Now, I'm waiting for the trolls to put something in here so I can give you guys an example of their evil devil disease psychology. I really want to do that. And I just don't see it. But that's the thing. Don't say that they're the same as you, because they're not. Yeah, okay, let's just get this troll, because again, troll, there's just the stupidity. Like even with the go back to Africa, if you don't get out of this troll, this chat room and go into a cave, like that's the thing. They're so quick to tell somebody to go back to somewhere, not knowing that you're not indigenous to this. You come from a cave. I don't know if you know that or not, but your origins are in a cave. They're not in Egypt. They're not in America. It is in a cave with some dog bones and some Neanderthals. So go back to where you originate from. That's the thing that they don't get. Yeah, but you have all these coons running amok. You really do. And when I looked at this breakdown of the race and gender of the people who voted for Trump, it wasn't surprising to me, but it was really interesting, because it goes to show that coons have always been dangerous to Black progress. It's always been an issue, and it still is. Even when I watched the Birth of a Nation movie, I was just like, the moral of the story, there's always a coon. Expect coons to coon. Albinoid devils are going to be albinoid devils. Coons are going to be coons. You can expect from people what they are. You can expect them to be who they are. They are Neanderthal cave demons, period. And I don't have time to sit here and sugarcoat anything for anybody. I don't care about their feelings. I'm going to keep Trump or no Trump. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. That's just the reality of it is. And you could say it's racist, that's fine. We're now in an openly racist country. Isn't that what you guys wanted? You guys wanted racism to be open and accepted. So you can't sit here and get mad when you feel like it gets turned back on you. Surely you can't. You wanted Trump in office because you like racism. So now you need to accept it from anybody. You don't get to sit here and be mad now because you think a Black person is racist. You wanted racism, so now you get to get it. Now you get to get it back to you. Don't sit there and act like you just get to run amok. Like, because you don't get to just run amok. Let me just get this troll out of here, because I don't even have time for these. So we're just gonna block you and get you out of here, because there's a troll in their feelings, because they got their little evil albinoid troll feelings hurt. Oh, you little evil albinoid dirty troll. Are your feelings hurt? Like, really? Like, we really care? We care nothing about that. We're not praying for you. We're not. We don't forgive you. We're not going to be peaceful with you. Get back into your cave. I wish I had a big kennel to stuff you in, because you might as well be a domesticated dog. That's what you are. And that's what I feel like they are. All these trolls. You want to sit here, and then they're the biggest niggers. They want to sit here and spew out niggers when that's really what they are. And that's what you actually need to start calling them out on what they are. That's just really what they are. It's like you have them just sitting in here trolling because they really have an obsession. That's really what it is. They have this deep obsession. And then you don't have to point out to me who's trolling. When I see them trolling, I'll get to the trolls. But we want to welcome the trolls, because I might have questions for the trolls. So we got to let some of the trolls in, because I might have a couple questions for them. But the minute they not answering my questions, then that's when they get blocked, because you don't get to just run amok. If I have a question, you need to be a good little obedient troll. You need to respect authority, and you need to answer my questions when I ask you them. That's what you need to do. And see, they can't even be. The thing of it is, this is why I'm thinking at this point, a dog is better, because at least dogs know how to obey their masters, and these trolls don't. I'm over it. That's the thing. Why don't they know how to obey authority? Like, I don't get with it. I don't get it. Yeah, but the dogs are more obedient. So that's why I'm appreciating the dogs more. The dogs are obedient. If I tell a dog to go do something, the dog will go do it. These trolls can't even tell me what disease white people are immune to that Black people are dying in droves from. I want to know that. Because, like, really? I pulled the race card because you put it in my hand when you dealt it to me. That's why I pull it. So if it's in my deck, then I get to use it. That's why I'm using it. You shouldn't have put it in there if you didn't want it used. How about that? The trolls can't take orders. They don't know how to take orders. They don't know how to obey authority. I'm just over them. They're not useful for anything. Like, why are they even here? Like, what is their purpose and what did they contribute to this country? They're not, we should ship them all back to Africa. Oh, I'm sorry, a cave in Europe, because they're not from Africa. They don't get the benefit and the privilege of being associated from Africa. They need to go back to their European cave. That's what they need to do. How about that? And so that's my thing. Because if the trolls were going to be useful, then I would let them stay. But since they're not, I just have to just get them up out of here. Did you guys see that article that's circulating with the evil Albanoid mercenary that's standing over the body of a Black person that was shot and killed, smiling and laughing? Do you guys know how reminiscent that is to Jim Crow era and how that's exactly what they were doing? Exactly what they were doing, just relishing in death and happy. This is what we really need to understand, because this is one thing you guys don't understand. Because if you're disappointed about this election result, then despite me trying to constantly tell you who you are dealing with, you still don't know. When you have articles circulating that's showing pictures of these evil Albanoid mercenaries standing next to dead Black bodies smiling, you're dealing with the full-fledged Jim Crow mentality. That's what you're dealing with, okay? Just like they used to memorialize these lynchings, they're still doing it now. There shouldn't be anyone standing out there like happy about deaths. There shouldn't. They shouldn't. If white lives matter, why do you guys keep killing each other? I want to know why the white on white crime is so high if white lives matter so much. Like, I don't understand that, because it's like you have all these evil albinoids out here talking about white lives matter, and then they're out shooting up and killing everyone. So I don't understand that. Well, why are you guys killing each other if if your lives matter so much? Why are you killing each other? Why is 84% of white people being killed by other white people if you guys care so much about white lives? You're sitting here complaining so much and worrying about everything that Black people are doing. Why are you not concerned about white on white crime? Because it's a big epidemic right now. So most white people are dying because of other white people. So what are you guys doing about white on white crime? I just really need to know that. I really do need to know that. Because there's some trolls in here that want to know about Black on Black crime. So I want to know about white on white crime. What are you doing about that epidemic in the community? I would like to know. And white abortions are high too. And the thing of it is, so Donald Trump might actually do them a favor and prevent them from getting abortions. He's going to take away Obamacare that they benefit mostly from. He's going to get rid of affirmative action that white women mostly benefit from. So the thing of it is again, self-sabotage. People with low self-esteem engage in self-sabotaging behaviors. And so going through this whole election process, they weren't even paying attention to the fact that Donald Trump, for the most part, is going to get rid of a bunch of programs that they mostly benefit from. So that's what they just don't understand. And again, it all has to do with low self-esteem, because if they really did, if they really knew, and if they were really paying attention to policies instead of old Jim Crow stereotypes, then they would already know that they're going to have a lot of problems as a result to a lot of these services that they seem to think that they don't benefit from, that they do. Where are they going to get their welfare checks from? Well, at least we know welfare fraud will decrease now that Donald Trump is in office, because now these evil Albanoid devils won't have the system to mooch off of. So actually, this is good in a lot of reasons. It will decrease white crime. It really will, because then you won't have any more welfare fraud. Hopefully, white on white crime will decrease. A lot of those mass shootings, since he said he's going to restore law and order. So we should see a lot of those, we should really see a lot of those white on white crimes and those mass shootings and all of those terrorist attacks that they get engaged in. We should see a decline in that, since he's going to restore law and order. So this should be good, truth be told. Now, Black people shouldn't even be up in arms. I don't even know why they're up in arms. And they do. They stay on that welfare. They are the biggest welfare recipients. Obamacare benefits them the most. Let them do what they want to do. Let them sabotage themselves. Let them do it. Let them do it. Let them not think about the fact that you just had somebody talking about every one of these countries that are non-white people, full of them. Let them sabotage themselves. Because the thing of it is, again, those who don't learn from the past are doomed to repeat it. So apparently they just want another civil war. So let them do that. Let them do it. That's what I say. Because the reality is that, again, like I said before, there is a price to pay. There's a price for everything. So they can sit here, and again, these are mainstream, irrelevant, evil albinoids that really just they just really don't, again, because they're not going to be put into the loop of what's really going on, because they're not that important. Yes, the sun does hate them. The sun absolutely does. So why do you think they're spraying all those chemtrails? But the thing is, they say is nigger because they're ignorant and stupid. And that's why I don't know why you guys even care about that. And then they're so focused on what black people are doing. Again, they are so focused on what black people are doing. That's why they cannot prevent the crime. And this is why their birth rate is low. Because if they would focus more on procreation and sustaining the survival of their species, they wouldn't be dying off. But since they're so focused on black people, they can't even try to do anything for themselves because they're so obsessed with black people. That's the problem. And then listen, there's no wall is going to be built because those Mexicans are not going to go build a wall. But again, they didn't vote Donald Trump in because he had these awesome policies. They voted him in because they want to be able to express their racism. That's why they did it. That's the only reason why they did it. And now you have the entire country divided. You have a bunch of people out here protesting. Like, this is an election like no one has ever seen it. And nobody has ever seen this from an election where the country is completely divided on it. Now, they can say that with Obama, but that didn't happen with Obama. Like when Obama was being elected, that wasn't happening. Like, you didn't see people, and of course you had some of the trolls out there, putting out their racial slurs and talking about how they didn't want Obama in office. But you really didn't see people out there protesting like that. So the fact that you have them out here protesting lets you know what it really is. It's a problem. So I say, let's just let the chips fall where they may. You guys worry about protecting yourselves and using your constitutional right, and be willing to defend yourself if someone attack you. Otherwise, just live your life. Continue to do you. Continue to try to strive for Black economics and unity, and let whatever's going to happen, because you guys can't control other people anyway. You can't control what they do. Like, you can't control whether they decide to go out and do mass shootings and be the biggest pedophiles and serial killers and rapists. You don't have any control over that. All you can do is control yourself. If they want to be openly racist, let them. They seem to think that they're in this country and just confined, and other countries aren't looking at their non-progressive ways. So I don't even know why anybody would be worried about it. I certainly am not. It's like we've had other presidents that were racist, that wanted to do things to harm Black people. Even the ones who claimed that they were for Black people did things to harm them. That's what I don't understand. People just sitting here voting out of fear, wanting Hillary in office, and then you guys are sitting here ignoring the fact that she called you super predators and greenlit mass incarceration with her husband, that's resulting in millions of Black homes being disrupted and millions of Black men being in jail. So why are you guys overlooking that? You don't know, and like, you are only going by Trump's words. Like, for all you know, he could just be saying all that because he knows this is what's going to get him elected president. But you don't know what kind of president he's going to be, and you don't know what kind of president Hillary is going to be. You don't know that she will be any less racist or any more effective than he will be. You really just don't know that. You're living in fear. You're going by fear. And you should not be voting out of fear. You're sitting here saying that your ancestors died so that you can vote. They did not die so that you can vote out of fear. They died to get the right to vote so that it can empower the Black community, not further subjugate us. There's actually people out here sitting there talking about, oh, well, I can't believe you guys betrayed our ancestors. No, you betray your ancestors every time you get up there and coon. You betray your ancestors when you talk about going out there to vote for Donald Trump. That's when you do that. When you go out there and vote for someone who called you a super predator and said that you should be brought to heel. That's when you are betraying your ancestors, because your ancestors didn't die for that. When you get on YouTube and social media and talk about how much you love white women or white men, and those are your primary partners, that's when you're betraying your ancestors, because they didn't die for that. They died for you to be equal, not so your black community can be in shambles and divided. And now you have a bunch of black men voting for Donald Trump and then others voting for, and then all over the place. You guys want to sit here and talk so much about what your ancestors died for, only when it comes to you voting out of fear. That's a problem. Because if you really cared about your ancestors, you wouldn't be pooling all of your money into communities that have nothing to do with you. You wouldn't be sitting on here constantly ostracizing your own. You wouldn't be sitting here allowing evil albinoid devils to sit in your car and disrespect you and call you out your name. But then if you see a black woman, you'll attack her in a minute, but you're sitting there calling him sir and giving him respect. Your ancestors did not die for that. So the thing of it is you guys can sit here and talk about, oh, well, our ancestors died for so much. Okay, but for us to vote, and they fought and they got beaten, and just so we could vote, and they really want us to vote for this white savior. You're not thinking about your ancestors. So you shouldn't even be bringing your ancestors up, because if you really cared about your ancestors, you would be doing way different for your community. You would only be operating for the betterment of your community. That's what you would be doing. So you don't care anything about your ancestors. It's good to honor your ancestors, but honor them all the way. Don't just honor them because you're scared that a person, because they're flamboyantly racist, is going to get into office and you feel like you need to pick the lesser of two evils. You think your ancestors died so you could pick the lesser of two evils when you really don't even know if that one is the lesser of two evils, really? You think that that's what your ancestors died for? They did not. They didn't. They didn't die for that. So the thing of it is you need to be about empowerment. See what the next 4 years, now, maybe now, since Hillary didn't get elected, maybe now you can leverage your vote. Leverage your vote and make whoever decides to run do something that is going to empower your community, and then you will be honoring your ancestors. But just going out and hoarding your vote is not going to, no, your ancestors didn't die for that. Because you can sit here and hoard your vote as much as you want to. Your voting hasn't done anything to empower this community. What has it done to empower this community? Because you can sit here and bring up integration, but that was horrendous for this country, for black people. It was horrendous. It's the worst thing that's happened for us. We would have been far better off with having our own schools, okay? You're not betraying your voting at this point. Do you know how much of a big shit show this was? Do you know whenever, I've never in any election had anyone call me. When Obama was running for president, I didn't have people calling me and texting me, basically begging me to vote for Hillary Clinton, saying that Donald Trump is a bad look for this country and this is an embarrassment. I didn't have people calling me doing that, okay? This whole election has been one big carnival shit show. And if you think that it doesn't make America look extremely bad, then you are sick in your head. And this is what you want to vote for? This is what you think your ancestors died for? They didn't. They didn't die for this. It's like, you should, what are you voting for? Like, for what? What did they tell? I need somebody to tell me what either one of them said they were going to do that won your vote. What did they do to win your vote? Because the only people who would really, the election in a way panned out the way it should. Most white people should be voting for him because that's who he catered to. But the only difference is there shouldn't have been any black people voting for him. But you did, but that's okay. Coons have always been there to dissipate energy and sabotage black progress. That's what they're there for. But the fact that you have them sitting here, black people talking about, oh, well, we betrayed our ancestors and you guys are a disgrace and the ancestors were beaten and killed. Don't even do that, because you're insulting the ancestors. The ancestors are rolling around in their grave every time they see black women and black men divided. Okay, that's what's a disgrace to your ancestors, not you deciding. Mind you, you don't lose your right to vote just because you don't vote in an election. You don't lose your right to vote. You still have a right to vote. So not voting isn't doing anything. Now, if there was a law that said if you miss any election and you don't vote in it, then you lose your right. It's gonna increase anyway. Like, what do you what do you mean brutality? Duh, it's gonna increase. It's gonna increase as long as you are divided, as long as you can't come together for a common goal, as long as you are unwilling to change anything. You can guarantee the same thing is going to be happening. The only thing that's going to get you different results is if you do stuff different. That is a fact. That is 100% fact. If you're not going to change anything that you're doing, you can only guarantee that nothing is going to change for you. Voting is not the only way to get change. Why do you guys think that? And then even if it was, they should at least be saying what they're going to do. What are you voting for? If you're voting because you don't want another person in office, that's retarded. That's extremely stupid. It's like, that makes no sense. Like, I don't get it. That's not the way. It's not. That's not the way that you want to vote. Leverage your vote. Leverage means they need to offer something to you. If they don't, then do not give them your vote. It should be a reciprocal relationship, not you just giving out your votes and throwing it out and then being able to predict it and saying, oh, I know that Black people are going to vote Democrat because they always vote Democrat. That's not leveraging your vote. That's you playing chess and then playing checkers. And that's why you playing checkers and then playing chess. And that's why they keep winning. That's why they have, 92% voted against him, but you still voted. That's not leveraging your vote. Voting against someone because you don't want them in office is not leveraging your vote. That doesn't leverage it, because you're still voting for another person who's done harm to your community. And then the fact that a lot of you will bring up your ancestors in it is comical to me. It's comical. You're looking at, you're literally looking at hate. Okay, you're going backwards. We're not going forward. We're not progressing. We're degressing. Okay, you're degressing into a time to where they're circulating pictures of them smiling over a Black dead body. We've already been there 50 years ago. You're degressing. Like, what part of that do you guys not get? Really? And then the thing of it is you do have a lot of these Black men out here talking about how much Black women love white men. But then when you look at the voting records, it's them voting for the white men. That's the reality of it. Why is it that if Black women love all these white men, then when it comes to the Trump vote, shouldn't it have been a higher percentage, not the Black men voting for him being almost 3 times higher than Black women? A 4% to 13% is a very high gap. Black men are 5% of the population. Of the people that voted for them, 13% of the 17% of Black people, 13% of that 17% was Black men. That is a problem. Because you want to sit here and talk about bed wenching, and you want to sit here and talk about Black women loving the white man. Okay, why are you voting him in office then? There should have been no Black men on there voting for him. It should have been, according to Black men, it should have been mostly Black women, but it wasn't. It was 4% Black women, 13% Black men. That's a problem. That is a big problem. And it's a problem that we need to address, period. Because you can say it's Coons. Yeah, it is Coons. It is Coons. No, I am going to rant. I'm going to rant because I'm seeing a lot of scared, petrified Black people unwilling to change anything, but thinking they're going to get change. So I am going to sit here and I am going to rant. Because someone needs to rant. Because the problem is we're unwilling to do anything different. We keep asking for stuff and we're not willing to do anything in order to get it. You can't just ask for stuff in this country. When have you ever just asked for something and got it? Never. You never asked for something and then just got it. So the reality of it is you can't keep just asking a group of people who have no benefit in giving you what you want. There's no benefit of it. They're not dying fast enough. Period. The reality of it is you can't just ask for stuff, okay? You can't just ask. You have to be willing to deny and do whatever it takes to get what you want. They are willing to do whatever it takes, okay? That's the one thing you can give to them. They will do whatever it takes to get what they want. You won't. And even though you have the worst situation and you're not willing, you would think we would be the most ones willing to do whatever it takes to get what we want, but we're not. Okay? That's the thing. The mindset has changed so much since the people of the civil rights movement. It's changed so much because you had a group of people that were willing to inconvenience themselves and sacrifice whatever they could in order to get what they wanted. You had that group of people. You don't have that anymore. You have a group of people who think they can just ask for stuff. You can ask for whatever you want to, doesn't mean you're going to get it. Because we've been asking for years, but we've been doing the same things over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. We've been doing the same things over and over again. We're not changing anything. We're just protesting. We're praying. We're forgiving. We're thinking, exactly. We're living in fear. You're living in fear, and you're manifesting those fears. That's why you're not getting anything. The thing of it is, you need, at least if you're going to have some fear, let your fear guide you to act and change something. Because there's a whole bunch of drama and freaking out and panicking, and nobody's talking about what they're going to change. So what Kanye West is going to do nothing for anybody. I don't even know why people are putting that. I should block the person to put that in there. I really should. Because to mention Kanye West in a serious conversation is trolling at this point. And they're like, well, what is that really? Kanye West is the black Donald Trump. You would have the same thing just with brown skin. Stop it. It's like, I don't know what it is, but the reality of it is we're just sitting here getting scared. And I don't want people reacting out of fear. Because the thing of it is we already have inside of us all that we need to make change. We have whatever we need inside of us to make change, but we're just refusing to utilize it. And the thing of it is you can be afraid of something. You being afraid of it and not acting isn't going to make whatever you're afraid of not happen. So you need to take your fear and use it to motivate you. If you're really concerned about the results of this election and what it's going to do, then you need to be willing to change something. Because if you're not willing to change something, then you can only guarantee that you're going to keep being, well, you protect yourself. Stop looking to other people to protect you. That's the problem. It's like people are sitting here waiting for someone to save and protect them. Stop. No one is coming to protect you. You need to protect yourself. You need to save yourself. It's like, that's what you just need to do. It's like, that's the flaw that you're having. You don't want to act because you're expecting someone else to come act on your behalf, and it's not going to happen. Like, well, what do they got to do to keep showing you they're not coming? That savior is not coming for you. You need to be your own savior. Black people can save their own community. It's like, that's what you can do. It's like, I don't get it. Yeah, stop looking. Well, can somebody please name one person on this planet who would have a vested interest and who would benefit from saving Black people? Let's just say hypothetically there was going to be a savior somewhere. What would they gain by helping Black people, especially if they're not Black? What would they gain? Because they wouldn't gain anything. And if you can't think of anything that they would gain, then that will tell you nobody's coming, okay? It isn't going to be a white Jesus that flies out of the sky. You're not going to elect a savior into office. You're not going to do it. If you can have a Black man that looks like you, that faces the same racism as you, that got more death threats than any other president combined in the history of this country, and they still don't do anything to benefit you, it's not going to happen. Period. It's not going to happen. You can say he's an Uncle Tom as much as he wants to, but you're still expecting someone to come save you. If he can save you, nobody is going to. Save yourself. Unity, togetherness will save you. The divisiveness is why all of this is happening. The divisiveness is why all of this is happening to you. That's the reason why. Because you can't accomplish anything. You can't be about anything if you do not have unity. Asians have the lowest voting rate. They're not concerned about who the president is. They don't sit there and go out in droves. You don't have presidents doing campaigns to get the Asian vote. No, they do it to get your vote, okay? Use that to your advantage. If they really want your vote, make them earn it. But I feel like I'm talking to people who will be in a relationship and not require their spouse to do anything. It's the same thing. Because most of you, and I don't even know, but I'm thinking it's the exact same thing. If you are the type that will sit in a relationship and not allow your partner to bring anything to the table, if you will complain about bad behavior but not leave, you are the type of person that's confused right now because you just don't get it. It's the same thing. If you cannot think that you are just going to ask somebody something and not present a consequence and not be willing to take something away if you don't get it and then you think you're going to get it. No, you're not. Just as sure as a person is going to stay in a relationship with you until they get tired of dealing with you and then leave, despite you complaining about their cheating and you're not willing to leave that relationship, you can guarantee they're going to keep doing exactly what they're doing. That's the reality of it. And so until we as a group are willing to unite, are willing to love each other, are willing to pool our economics, we're not betraying each other on TV, we're not cooning it up on social media, we're not voting for orange racists for presidents, or voting out of fear, or voting for people that call us super predators. Until we're ready to change all of that, we should just stop asking for anything. Because we're just looking stupid. That's the only thing we're doing. We're out here looking like clowns because it's like we're running around looking for a white savior that's never going to come. We've already known it's not going to come. We're keep expecting something that's literally never happened and not ever going to happen. We're voting for people thinking that it's going to benefit us, although they're telling us that they're not going to do anything. Anytime you can have WikiLeaks put out documents where they're saying I'm not going to do anything for Black people, and Black people still vote, that's a problem. That is a problem. That's the thing. Why is it they're able to tell you to your face, I'm not going to do anything? It's like your man or girlfriend telling you, I'm going to keep cheating on you, I'm not changing anything, and you still be with them. It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. Oh my God, I can't. Like, that's the thing. It frustrates me because it's like you have to be willing to change something. Even during the civil rights movement, Black people could have talked about integration as much as they want to. If they still would have been getting on that bus, nothing would have changed. Okay? They couldn't have been complaining about having to get on the back of the bus while getting on the back of the bus. You're still on the bus. They're still making money. Get off the bus. That's the problem. Boycott. That's how they got what they want, because they were willing to take something away. They said, I'm not giving you my money if you're putting me on the back of the bus. That's how they got off the back of the bus, because they said, I don't care about your bus. Okay? They were like, fuck your bus, I'll walk. Until you get like that, then you're not getting anything. You won't get anything, because you're not willing to deprive anything. You only get results through deprivation. That is the only thing. You get results through deprivation. If you're not willing to deprive anything, you're not willing to change anything, stop asking. Stop asking, because you're just wasting your breath and looking stupid. That's the only thing. We are looking retarded out in these streets. We are looking passive. We are looking like a slave. We are looking like the weakest people on the face of the planet out in these streets, because all we want to do is sit down and wait for a white savior that's not coming. Okay? They're not coming. Protect yourself. Use your right to bear arms, okay? Use your right to bear arms. Be willing to defend yourself. Empower your community, okay? Stop being the mascots for everybody else who don't care about you. Stop picking up other people's cross and leaving yours on the ground. It's like, it makes no sense. Oh my God. It's like, stop worrying about what these evil almanoid devils do. A devil is going to be a devil, okay? Trust them and believe that they're going to be who they are. That's the only thing you can trust, that they are going to be who they are. They're going to look out for their own best interest. That's what they're going to do. They will look out for their own best interest, period. When are you going to start looking out for your own best interest? Like, because all of you want to run around with this individualistic idea in a world that's treating you as a collective and a part of a group. You don't get to be an individual in this country. You are a part of the Black community. You are getting treated accordingly. They see you the same as they see every other Black person on this planet. And until you get that into your head, doesn't matter if you're light skin, dark skin, natural hair, dreads, weave, doesn't matter. Contacts or no contacts, you cannot have any eyes. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you're wearing a hoodie or a four-piece suit with cufflinks. It does not matter. You are getting treated the same based on your Black skin. They give a damn about you being gay. They don't care about you being a feminist. You are Black. They don't even care about you being a woman. You are Black. Your Blackness comes before your gender. It comes before your sexual orientation. They don't care if you're rich, poor, anything. They care nothing about you being a Hebrew Israelite. You can be a Christian. You can be a dog. You can be a cat. If you are Black, that is the problem. Period. You are getting treated based off your Blackness, nothing more, nothing less. Black feminists need to drop the feminism because you are Black before you are a woman. No one cares about that. Black people who are gay, you are Black before you are gay. No one cares. They don't see your gayness, they see your Blackness. First and foremost, that is what you are being judged on. I don't care who thinks it's racist. I don't care who thinks it's a conspiracy. It is the reality of the country that we live in. And if it wasn't, you wouldn't have Donald Trump as the president, period. I give a damn about you talking about with racism. You wanted open racism, so now you have it. The bottom line is you're not going to sit here and troll the room and say, oh, that's racist, this is racist. You're racist. You voted for Trump. You wanted open racism, so now you're getting it. Period. But the reality of it is that Black people need to be able to see reality for what it is. Hopefully you guys will just see reality for what it is. You'll stop thinking that laying up with them is going to make them not be racist. Do you know how many white people who have Black kids voted for Donald Trump? Do you not see that that's not changing it? Now do you see that you are in a majority racist country that does not care about anything? Do you really see that? Or are you still confused? Because if you're still confused, then you're beyond hope. You're beyond help. That's what I'm saying. Are you still confused, or are you going to realize what country you live in and act accordingly? And nobody's crying over Donald Trump being the president. So you can go to, like, really? Nobody cares about that. Here's the thing. These evil Albanoid devils are so stupid. You don't even know what Trump is going to do. You're going by his words. Really? And they're running around here so happy that they have a Trump in the office acting like they've won something. You've won nothing. You're still burning in the sun. Trump isn't going to change that. He isn't going to increase your birth rate. He isn't going to stop this virus in the water that's killing you. He isn't going to make you stop making you have struggle genes. He isn't going to do any of that. He is a president in a country that you have no control over. If you think you put Trump there, then you can sit here and live in your stupid delusion. And you are just as delusional as thinking that you are an ancient Egyptian. Period. These are the people that you're dealing with. You are dealing with a diseased psychology. And until you are willing to act accordingly, until you're willing to put your people first, stop being divided on religion, sexuality, none of that matters if you are dead. It doesn't matter if you're a Hebrew Israelite or a Christian. When these evil Albanoid mercenaries are coming out and exterminating you within 2 seconds, they're not asking you, what religion do you subscribe to? They're not doing that. So why are you sitting there dividing yourself based on some stupidity that no one cares about but you? Okay, doesn't matter if you're half white or 90% white, you're still Black as far as they're concerned. When are you going to get that through your head? I don't understand it. Yes, that is, listen, hate is what founded this country, and I can almost guarantee you it is what will destroy this country, okay? It is going to destroy it, period. Because you have a group of people that cannot progress, they cannot learn from their behavior. They can only be who they are, period. And then I've been sitting here this entire year telling you you're not dealing with a progressive group of people, and then you get confused when it comes true. Like, really? So then when you see the reality of that, you're still confused. I've been saying that you're not dealing with a progressive group of people. Oh, but now we're confused. Oh, most of them voted Donald Trump. He's the president. Well, why? How is he the president? Because you're not dealing with a progressive group of people. So that's what it is. Period. And the thing of it is that until we are willing to change something, you can guarantee that the situation will not get better. Hopefully, a lot of these coons will get their wake-up call. They won't, because again, we've always dealt with coons. They've always been a big problem. They've always been here to dissipate the energy, sabotage Black progress, and that's what they're going to continue to do. So again, I'll say, be willing to arm yourself and be willing to defend yourself. Live your life and think about pro and Black empowerment 24/7. Okay, that doesn't even mean you have to go out and hate white people. I don't think you should have hate in your heart. That's a waste of energy. I don't even have that hate in my heart, because that is a waste of my energy. I am not going to take in a bunch of hateful energy, but I will see people for who they are, because I'm not one of those people who you're going to show me over and over and over who you are, and then I'm still going to be confused and be wondering who I'm dealing with. I'm not going to be that type of person. Don't let anybody make you live in fear. That's the thing. Do not let fear ruin your life, because if you drive yourself crazy sitting there wondering and worrying about what they're going to do. I'm not going to sit there and worry about what they're doing. The bottom line of it is, I'm still going to live my life. I'm still going to seek empowerment. I'm still going to empower the community. That is the one thing I'm going to continue to do. I'm not going to sit here and live in fear about what some crazy people are going to do. It wouldn't matter if Trump was president or not. They're still going to be mass shooters. They're still going to be who they are. Doesn't matter. You could have Trump or Hillary. You would still have the same results. And I've been saying that. And that's really just the way that it is. So what are you guys going to do? That's the thing. Are you going to wake up and start changing and be willing to inconvenience yourself and be uncomfortable to get what you want? Or are you going to just keep asking for stuff and expecting a white savior that's never going to come? Because then you can guarantee that nothing is going to change. That's all I have to say. I'm going to get off here. I have some lamb that I'm cooking. So I need to get off here and eat. But again, don't sit here and live in fear at all. Hopefully everyone will have a good night and think about things that you will be wanting to change. That's the reality of it. I mean, you guys need to don't live in fear, but you have constitutional rights. Okay, you're a citizen too. You have a constitutional right to bear arms. Nobody has taken that away from you. So if you don't have a felony, utilize your constitutional right to bear arms. Just like they get to bear them, you need to bear them if you want to. Self-defense, okay? You don't have to let anybody attack you. You can defend yourself. If people are coming for you and trying to defend your life, you have a right to defend your life if you want to. So that's, get out of the religious mindset. That's the thing. Look at what other groups of people are doing and how they are being successful, and you need to model that. The divisiveness is not beneficial to us. It's just not. It really isn't. So that's just the reality of it is. Hopefully everybody have a good night. Get some sleep. Stop living in fear. And I mean, this isn't the end of the world, and if it is, you can't do anything about that. So you need to change what is within your power to change. That's the only thing that you can do. Change what's in your power, what's within your power to change. But don't let anybody sit there and do anything and make you fear anything. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video. And again, we're going to be doing this every Wednesday at 6 o'clock. We will be on here unless I'm on vacation, then we won't, because after this I will need a vacation, and I am actually going to take one. Oh, for everybody that was asking, I do want to say this to you guys. I did get a reimbursement from the dentist, and I am getting a reimbursement from my insurance. So you guys need to utilize the court system. It is very easy. If you need to do a small claims court suit, I will tell you guys, anybody who's interested, if I get enough emails of people wanting to know the process to file a lawsuit, if you need to, then I will let you do it. Because sometimes you don't even need to go through the lawsuit. I filed the lawsuit. I didn't carry out it, but I did end up getting what I want. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to fight. So yeah, thanks for reminding me about the links, A. Pratt. Thanks for reminding me about that. I will get the links in there too. Yeah, but thank you guys for tuning in and watching. And I'm not using a new camera. I'm actually waiting for a connector that'll let me use it. It's a piece that I had to buy. It's coming from Canada. It should be here like by next week. And then as soon as I get it, I will actually be using it to record the videos. Right now, you can't just connect the camera to the you can't just connect the camera to the computer and then use it. I have to get something that's like a little USB port called a capture card. So as soon as I get that, I'll be using it, and it should be here next week. So anyway, thank you guys. Have a good night. Like, don't be living in fear. If y'all don't stop living in fear of these people, like seriously, if you don't understand the power in you being Black and activate that melanin and that African spiritual, get it together. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good night. Bye.